Bob Iger, longtime CEO of Disney, was there for 15 years, stepped down in 2020, and then was the company's executive chairman until last year. Then he retired. And there was some scuttlebutt about whether or not he'd run for president, but obviously not. Disney fired their CEO about a week ago, Bob Chapek, or he stepped down after being warmly encouraged to do so. And so Iger's back. Well, this doesn't work very often where a CEO returns. It did work for Apple, who turned back to Steve Jobs. But Steve Jobs, we're talking about a unicorn. Starbucks has brought Howard Schultz back. You could probably say that maybe that's worked. I mean, it's not a dumpster fire, but he's dealing with a lot of stuff too, fighting unionization. But we could say that it's worked so far. But not all CEOs do better the second time around. On average, companies that brought back a CEO had worse yearly stock performance, 10.1%, in fact, lower, compared with those CEOs in their first go-round. This is from an MIT study in 2020. In this article, this is a LA Times article, there's a quote here from a Professor Howe of UC Irvine. Bringing back a CEO is kind of like calling back a plumber. You need them to come back, but you kind of have this resentment that they should have done the job right the first time. I thought that was beautiful. I don't know where the first name of that person is, but it doesn't matter. I gave him credit. Fantastic. That's really right. Right? You're glad the plumber came back, but you can't really give him grief because he's back and you need him to fix it. But it's like, why didn't you see it the first time? Kind of a little bit irritated. And this brings up a very valuable lesson, leaders, about succession. I don't believe that you can say, when you're 10 years done, I don't think you can go, I was a success, if your successor is not successful. Bob Iger, with all of the good things he did at Disney, you know what Bob Iger didn't succeed at? Succession. He was chairman of the board for a couple of years. This was his hand-picked guy. I got news for you, leader. You are not truly successful without a successor. If you don't like that, you think that's too intense, send me a comment that I won't read. How about that? That's just the truth. And let me tell you something. It takes tremendous effort to truly replace yourself. But if done right, we're talking about real legacy stuff.